Oh, well, maybe we're not. Maybe we are going. Maybe. There it goes. Hey! Welcome everyone back to another X-Wing Coast to Coast stream. This is a demonstration of Spaceballs the Tournament, the format. I am one of your hosts for tonight. I am Andrew, and I am joined along with Justin.
Hello there.
And we are going to go over what this tournament's format is. There's been a lot of questions about it, so in order to assuage some of these issues, we are going to do a demonstration. After this, it will be posted on the Coast to Coast YouTube channel, so you can find it, look at it again, watch it, and kind of review and figure out how this works.
Yep. And not only are we going to be doing a tutorial today, we are actually going to have a demo game played live. So if you want to just stick around to see how it's played, we'll do that first. And then if you want to stick around for an actual game, feel free to stick by and we will commentate that as per the usual. So, for starters here, we went ahead and we already set up some range 3 rulers at the corners. Those are going to be for your hyperspace markers. Zachary, if you would be so kind as to spawn the hyperspace markers.
Absolutely.
So if you go to the top here, if you could show that on the screen, Andrew. Go to the top here on the hyperspace markers. You can right-click on this and click on Set Up Aces High. That will spawn all your markers here, just like so. You can see they're a little off. So you will have... That actually is a little off. So you will have these here. The proper setup is to have them at 3 and 3. This one over here is already correct. This one here needs to be moved just a bit. Yeah, lock that guy into place, and then the other two here and here need to be moved here and here.
Yeah, these ones are easy. You can just go ahead and toggle rulers the way you usually would with setup. And then place them at the vertices of these intersections.
Alright, now that our hyperspace markers are placed, you also want to keep in mind that for the markers, the blank edge is pointing to the corners. Once these are placed, you can go ahead and remove the rulers.
Oh,
which we have broken.
Excellent. TTS decided to add rulers. Did that to me earlier today, too. So.
Teamwork, go ahead and remove all these rulers.
Now just listen to the sound of us all individually
clicking.
Click. Yeah. Delete, right click, delete, right click, delete. And we've done it, everyone.
Alright, so now that we have our markers down and our rulers cleared, we can go ahead and start placing obstacles. Now, in this case, Battlebrow, who is Daniel, is... we set up the rulers again? Don't need... Daniel, who is... I broke it. There we go. Standard obstacle placement apply with caveat that it cannot be close to the range 1 to any of the markers. Daniel has the initiative, so he will place first.
We'll go with a nice debris field right here in the middle of everything.
All right.
I'll follow that up. A big ol' hunk of rock. As let's say right about here.
Important to note, as they are placing these obstacles, for the purpose of play, these hyperspace markers do not exist. The same way you interact with them, the same way you would in Aces High. These things, when moving, when overlapping, they have no purpose. And in fact, after every ship has deployed, you can theoretically delete them if you so choose. It is up to you, but it may help just kind of clear the board of some clutter and make sure that you know what you're doing. Now, Justin, can they place these right at range 0 of the hyperspace markers?
Absolutely not. Yep. It must be farther than range 1 from any of the hyperspace markers. You can see that when you normally place. Now, in the event that you go to place your obstacles and perhaps you don't have the space to place the 6th obstacle, just discard it, because you don't want to break your range rules. So here is our setup. Everything is at least range 1 away from everything else. You can see that the center tends to get really cluttered up, but that's exactly what you want. From here, you will go ahead and remove the rulers completely, because we are done with them. And then deployment begins. Now, it is done by initiative order. So on Kierbor's side, we have a 6 and 2 5s. And then on Daniel's side, we have a 6, a 4, and a 5. So in this case, Covanel will place first, as she has the lowest initiative. So Daniel's going to roll a dice here. And he rolled a hit. This means that he can place Kova at any of the hit markers. Should be here, 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 or here. And that must face away from the marker.
Yeah, these are the same deployment rules you would have in Aces High.
So
Now-
what you can do first is make sure you right-click the marker and click Enable. That will snap the ship to the marker, and then you can click Disable. So pick it up for a moment. Pick up the ship. I've clicked Enable, and it should have snapped right to and locked down, which it seems to have. Now I right-click the marker again, Disable, and now it will no longer suck other ships.
There you go.
Now, when you roll your dice, you also have the option to, say, for example, you roll a critical. Obviously, there's no critical hits on any of these hyperspace markers. That gives you the ability to place on any of the open spaces. So criticals are kind of nice to have. So we're now rolling for Nian, who got a critical. That's fitting. And he is allowed to place Nian wherever he so chooses, so long as the space is available. Obviously, since Kova has taken the spot here, he will not be able to place there.
So, Justin, since it's possible to have 8 ships in a list, what happens when you get 2 lists with 8 ships? Because there's only 12 spawning positions.
Yep. So you go ahead and place, in the event that you cannot place your ship, or you opt to not place the ship, so you do have the decision. Say you roll your dice and you are not happy with where you're going to place it. Say, for example, you have a large base and you can, and you don't want to place it on a blank, which is what you roll. You can choose to hold off the ship and deploy it the following turn after the first end phase.
I think I'm going to do just that. I don't really want to put Jan on any of the eyeball spaces right now, so I'm going to hold Jan for a turn.
Cool.
Yep. So Jan will not deploy. Now, this does come with a trade-off. If all of your ships on the mat are destroyed before you place the last ship, you lose. You have to have a ship on the board at all times, otherwise it ends up in a defeat.
So Jan is being held to the side right now. Let's move on to Luke.
You're also going to see Han Solo here, per Resistance Han's ability,
That's a threat.
which is you can be placed anywhere in the player beyond range 3 of enemy ships. Resistance Han will still be placed as per his usual ability. He will not be placed via the random spawning like everything else. So any kind of crew or pilot ability that allows for this, for example, again, Resistance Han, Boba Fett crew, I can't remember something. I think Tel Travera is one of them.
There's a few.
There's a few of them, but any ability like that is a setup ability will still happen. Dormitz is another one. I'm sorry, Lieutenant Dormitz. So we're now going to see Daniel be placing Resistance Han. He's got to do it beyond range 3 of Luke Skywalker.
Zach, do you spawn the range 3 for me real quick?
Yeah. Really, 1 second.
So he's going to do the range 3 of Luke. So, yep. Oh, and that does lock the ship in place, so you are going to need to unlock it. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
And there you go.
So Resistance Han obviously has the benefit of being able to ignore the hyperspace rule. There is a trade-off, though. Once again, the center is really, really clustered with obstacles. So bringing in a large base may be a little tricky, but if you're confident in your ability to fly through obstacles, could be a huge advantage.
Things like Collision Detector and Scum Crew Kira would be very useful in this format. If you're bringing a large base, at least.
And finally, we are rolling for Wedge. We rolled a hit.
Pretty solid, actually. He could put that right next to Luke if he chooses, or he can go aggressive and try to catch 9 or Kova in the opening round. We'll see what Zach chooses.
I think let's go right.
There you go. Starting the X-Wings back to back.
Enable, and then drop.
There you go.
From this point, play continues as normally. You have a 50-minute timer, 5-0. At the beginning of the second turn, after the first end phase, you will roll for any ships, and you can continue to hold them off of the playfield for as long as you desire. But do remember, if you ever run out of ships on the mat, you lose. Additionally, the only other rule is you cannot drop any devices, bombs, rigged cargo chutes, or anything else on the first turn. That is first turn of the game, not first turn of deployment. And that's it. From here, play continues as normally. So at this point, Andrew and I are going to pop over to the streaming chat, let these two gentlemen play out their game. For anyone in the chat, this is the conclusion of the tutorial, and from here on out, we will be streaming a standard game, or a standard game of this format.
By all means, if you have questions for this format as well, stick around, ask us those questions. We are happy to answer them. This video, like we said, is going to be somewhat of a tutorial for this game, or for this format, and it should be useful for anyone who's interested in this tournament.
And if I may, we may want to include maybe a timestamp around here just to show what happens when Jan Ors spawns in, because we will have a setup thing happen actually during the actual gameplay.
We will do that once with the video.
All right, well, let's go over to streaming chat. And let's
Good luck
the
to
other
you.
question.
We will talk to you later.
Good luck, guys. Yes. The question
Mark,
is, if autopilot drone doesn't deploy on the hyperspace markers, do you still lose a charge during the system's phase?
No, you only lose those charges while you're on the field. Just like how if you're docked, you don't lose the charge. If you're not on the field, you do not lose the charge either.
Right. If you are placed in reserve or you choose to not be spawned, you do not lose the charges.
Yep.
But if you choose to be spawned not on a... If it doesn't deploy on a hyperspace marker, but deploys on an obstacle with Boba Fett crew or something, it of course does lose the charge during the system phase. When it's in the play area, it loses a charge.
Hope that answers your question, Murray.
To go over these lists that we have here, we haven't talked about that yet. On the
got
left...
about 13 seconds before the game starts. Oh, we are starting. Okay.
Let me go ahead and set the timer then.
Get an extra 10 seconds in.
Why not? On the left, we have Kerbor's list. He's flying Wedge Antilles with Predator and R5 Astromech, which is going to allow for some repairs to those face-up damage cards or face-down. We've got Luke with an R3, so when he takes a lock, he can take a lock on 2 ships. And we've got Jan Ors rocking the Crow title, Proton Bombs, Engine Upgrade, and Nyan Nub, whose ability, of course, is all the bank maneuvers are easier, which is going to let Jan clear that stress user since she, her ability is to take a stress to give a friendly ship in your attack arc an extra attack die. Kerbor is electing to not place her at the start, however. I believe the thought process there is she's a bit of a squishy target with only 5 health and 2 greens. So you don't want to get her out there too soon. You want to be able to make sure that she can support your ships the way she wants to. Justin, do you want to talk about Daniel's list?
I would love to. While I do that, do you want to color code Kerbor's X-Wings?
I can absolutely do that. That's a good point.
Now, on Daniel's side, we have Han Solo, who has already utilized his ability of spawning in the game beyond range 3 of his opponent, thus ignoring the hyperspace marker spawns. He is running Han Solo with Heroic, which lets him reroll if he rolls all blanks with 2 more dice. He has Rey as a gunner, who, while he defends or performs an attack, if the enemy ship is in your turret arc, you may spend a force to change one of your blank results to an evade or hit, so the same ability as if she was the pilot. And then the title, which allows him to perform sloops and boosts and turret rotations if he has 2 or fewer stress tokens. Covenel, who, if she is stressed, she gets to roll an extra red and green dice. Or excuse me, if she's revealed a red maneuver, not if she's stressed. Heroic, R4, which decreases the difficulty of the 1 and 2 basic maneuvers. And the Leia Organa crew card. So after a friendly ship reveals its style, you may spend a force. If you do, the chosen ship reduces the difficulty of that maneuver. And she does come with a purple coordinate. And finally, he is running Nien Num in the Nunb in the T-70, which his ability is if there's an enemy ship in your forward arc at range 0 to 1, when you gain a stress token, you may remove that stress token. With Pattern Analyzer, which lets him perform an action after he executes a red maneuver, and Heroic. So we've got a fairly standard Kova build. We've got Nien with a very good build that allows him to basically take stress-free red moves, and a Han Solo being able to take advantage of not having to spawn via the hyperspace markers.
So you can already see how this format works, and the fact that we are not even 4 minutes in, and you've already seen 2 shields go on Wedge and 1 on Kova.
Yep.
This is a pretty brutal format in which you are instantly going to be instantly in that engagement phase if you're not careful. Wedge took a target lock, and because of that, he is really getting hammered right now. It takes 2 more damage cards. And then you see already half points on Wedge, and again, it hasn't even been 5 minutes.
He actually rolled too many dice there.
I think it was obstructed.
Oh, was it? Okay,
Yes.
I
I
apologize.
think it went over that debris in the middle. You're going to see Luke get the range 1 on 9, though. It's possible we can get some revenge shots here. I do think this is where you're going to see that R5 astromech come into play, though. He will get a chance to regen those two hits he just took. So, you're going to see hit crit out of Luke.
Hit crit.
I think Karabor took the target lock, so he's going to spend it on the blink.
Got
Gets
it.
2 eyes, spends the force.
Spending
For both.
both force.
You might want to kill the now shields as well. 9's taking shields.
All
Dang
3
it.
shields gone. So you can see this is a pretty brutal format. Very quick to the bloodshed.
We could
So
see
be
a dead
ready
wedge
for
here.
some quick games.
Could see a dead wedge here, depending on the roll. We will not.
Just a single hit.
He will survive. Oof.
Oh, definitely surviving.
Yeah.
Natties.
And now it is the end phase. So any ships you have in reserve now will get a chance to deploy. If that is, if I'm correct here.
Yep.
That
that's the
happens
end phase.
during the end phase. So before dials are set, you're going to see
Here's
the
the
big,
die.
big deployment die. Jan is getting a hit.
Spooky places. I think at this point you go ahead and put her right next to Luke. Give him that extra die.
Yeah, I would like 2, to be honest. You can do like a nice bank or like a straight even and get Luke into there.
Opting to place her on 4, maybe get her right behind Kova, which will prevent a reverse move.
Well, Kova does move first. She could do the bank the other way, but looks like he's gonna go for 1, keep her behind Wedge, and maybe get in Han's way. Although she moves first, so not quite that. And at this point of the game, all ships have been deployed. So if the players so choose, they can delete the hyperspace markers from here on out. You will not need them.
Correct.
It might just help you get ensure that you don't consider them as obstacles or anything like that.
Now, I will say, in regards to the actual game itself, I'm not sure if I really like that position for Jan. It's going to be very difficult for her to go anywhere that's useful while not bumping. I suppose she can shoot forward in between those 2 rocks directly in front of her and still be able to support Wedge, but then I think she's giving up her own 3-die shot from the Moldy Crow title.
It depends on where Kova's going here. If Kova backs up, you might see her be able to snag that 3-die shot.
Yep.
But if she does like a hard 2 or even just a stop, I mean, yeah. Well, let me put it this way rather. If Kova doesn't go forward, I think the shooting straight through those rocks, you get that the 3-die forward shot and probably still get your side arc on Wedge. Mm-hmm. But I do think a 2 hard here isn't the worst case or the worst thing in the world either. I believe that would clear. It'd be close, and if I'm not mistaken, the Hawks have white 3 hards. No, they have red 3 hards. Okay, yeah. So that positioning isn't the best place he could have put Jan. But at the same time, again, Daniel's already put some hurting into Wedge. Jan isn't nearly as in danger as he is right now, I think. I think Daniel's going to try to finish him off, but we'll have to see about that. Now, as they're setting their dials for the next turn, Duck, I've heard something about bounties. Do you want to go over bounties?
I would love to. So they are currently in development. We're finalizing some stuff. But what bounties will be, they are going to be tournament-wide, up to each player, or not up to each player. There are different criteria for different prizes, so it's almost like a mini game of sorts in the tournament. As of right now, each bounty is first come, first serve, so the first person to accomplish a bounty in the tournament, call a judge in or screenshot it to provide evidence, will get the prize. We have a couple examples here. Let me find that real quick.
Sure. All right, you've seen the 4K out of 9. The nice thing about Pattern Analyzer is he still gets an action. And the second nice thing about 9 is he can dump both of those stress. Because Luke's at range 1.
I would like to point out that Jan did drop a proton bomb.
She did.
Which she is allowed to do, because even though it is the first time the first turn she's been deployed, it is not the first turn of the game, so bombs are allowed.
Ooh, no damage.
Now, I do have my bounties pulled up. However, I will wait until the end of engagement to go ahead and go over those.
Let's talk about those during the next planning phase. I think that's a great plan.
Yep.
We saw Kova when we were talking about bounties. She did do a hard stop, spending the force to do an action, get the focus. Always a good move. Let's see where Jan goes. Jan is going to do a 3 bank, so she is steering clear of her own proton bomb and ensuring at this point that she'll have some kind of shot with that side arc and likely have a wedge and arc to give him some extra damage. If Wedge elects to go with violence here, he can very well go into Kova with a 5-die primary attack.
Yeah, I think that's more than capable of taking her out between her and Jan firing.
Well, Jan only has 2 at the side. I mean, that's 7 dice, and she has 7 health remaining, so you're going to have to get real lucky.
True. Yeah.
Luke here is going to need to do some damage as well. But he'll have a shot. He's got the range 3, it looks like.
Between Luke, Wedge, and Jan, he's going hard for Kova.
He is. I think that's definitely the play here. Kova is one of those ships. Kova with Leia Crew is one of those ships that if you do not deal with her, she can be a really big problem. Luke going for the target lock action. Yeah, he's got Kova. Funnily enough, it measured range to Jan there. I don't know why it did that.
Maybe because she spawned afterwards. I'm not sure.
That's a weird thing. Usually it only measures range to what it considers enemy ships, but very strange.
Does mean Luke essentially will have a double modded shot.
Well, Han's taking a proton bomb here, but I don't think Han cares. He's got a focus. He's got 3 shields.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that's a bump.
Ooh, that doesn't look good for Wedge. Snapping the shields to him still.
I don't know why that's happening. It's a little weird.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to spawn some new ones. They don't do that now, but... Well, the good news if you're Wedge is you're taking 1 shot from Han, likely range 3, maybe obstructed, not obstructed.
Yep.
Bad news is you've got Rey, and Rey is... Ray Gunner's ability is in the turret arc. You can change. You spend a force to change a blank to a hit.
It does look like they missed that proton.
Yeah, and it's not gonna matter too much. It's just gonna do 1 damage onto old Han, and he's got the shields for it. So, ooh, almost hit 9. That could have been bad for him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good bomb drop.
Yep. Wedge needs 2 squiggles to not die here.
So that actually is a nice little tactic that people are talking about in the Discord server is dropping or spawning bombers in late, dropping bombs where people might not have expected them originally.
Yep, that would be a dead Wedge there.
Very dead Wedge.
Yeah, I think choosing violence there is maybe the wrong call when you've got a Wedge at when you got your I6 killer.
I really would have liked. Yeah, I really would have liked to have seen a 2 bank at a Wedge.
Yeah, I think that the bank would have been better. You at least get the shot back, or even some kind of disengage there.
Ooh, only 1 hit going in. He's going to spend that target lock. 3 hits going into Luke.
He shouldn't have a focus and a target lock, should he?
He used Pattern Analyzer because he did a red move.
Yeah, but he landed on a rock, on an obstacle.
That's on a debris field.
Yeah, but he has a focus and a target lock. How do you get both?
I'm not sure. I was looking at other things.
He shouldn't have both. He should only have one. Doesn't matter a whole lot. You got 2 evades and... No, it does matter because he took a shield.
He might have gotten a target lock in the last turn. I did not see
he took a
initial
focus the previous turn, I believe. Yeah, because he spent the focus on defense. So he should actually have a... He should have only... Luke shouldn't have taken a hit there.
Well, it's a casual game at the end of things.
Got some cheating going on. Luke spending the lock on the blink.
Could have just missed it.
Maybe. Spends the force, I imagine. Yeah.
Yep.
Hit crit.
Crit into Kova. Kova's no doubt going to spend that focus for no damage.
She might be going for
Nope,
damage. She might be
taking the
going,
shield.
yeah, going for the...
Choosing violence on Luke.
Going for the violence.
Don't know if this is the time to do it. Though at this point he's ahead, having already taken out Wedge, so it's his game to lose at this point. That's a debris field. You don't lose an action from debris field.
Huh. Is that so?
Correct.
You lose an action... well,
No, you only lose an action from clouds and asteroids. From a debris field, you only take a stress.
Interesting.
Yeah, you just lose your action when you go over a debris field because normally you're stressed. However, Nian removed it from his ability.
Stand corrected.
So what? Basically, Nian's allowed to double action when he's stressed because he gets the action from the pattern analyzer, and then he will be able to take his normal action because the stress is removed.
Yeah, I get the double action. For me, it was I thought he lost it when he landed on the obstacle, but I guess I did not know that debris field something to lose your action.
Damage.
Yep, we saw while we were trying to figure that out, or rather, I was trying to figure it out. A blind pilot did go into Kova, and a damage got through on Luke. So Luke is at half, Kova is at half, Wedge is dead, and 9 is 1 away from half. So again, 15 minutes into this game, we've seen a lot of death.
Now, since we're in the planning phase, I'm going to go over a couple of the bounties that we're going to be putting up for the tournament. Keep in mind that these are still a work in progress and subject to change, but this is what we have so far. For one, here is they must have overshot us by a week and a half. Requirement is to fly a medium or large spaceship off the board, resulting in its destruction. So you can't game that with Moralo. And the prize for doing so, should you report this to a judge or TO so that we can verify, is you get a unique Inertial Dampener's Emergency Handbrake card. We have another one. It's a good thing you were wearing that helmet. Take 3 critical hits from a single shot without flipping a damage card, so meaning you have to either block it with your dice or a shield. Another one, Forget the Ring. I found it in a Crackerjack box, which is to destroy a dark side force user with a light side force user without modding your dice using the force on the kill shot.
If I can, let's say if I can say one that I like quite a bit.
Sure.
Only one man would dare give me the raspberry, which is to jam an I-6 ship. That one's very fun.
So that one will actually give you a jam token. And then the Crackerjack box, one that I referred to earlier, if you do that, you get 2 Schwartz tokens, which are our top 8 prize, I believe. It's either top 8 or top 16.
I have it pulled up.
Hold
on, let me find out. It is top 16. You get 5 of them.
Yep, top 16. So if you kill a dark side user with a light side user without having to spend your force, you get 2 force tokens. There is also a reciprocated one where evil will always triumph because good is dumb. If you kill a light side user using a dark side user without spending any force to modify dice on the kill shot, you get 2 Schwartz tokens. So that's just a small selection of the bounties. So once again, those are all work in progress, subject to change. But that will give you some opportunities to win prizes, even if maybe you aren't doing so well. So stay tuned for those.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to announce those, the full list soon. Like we said, we're still working on those, trying to make sure that everything is nice and balanced, and nothing is too out of too good or too bad per se. As we were talking about bounties, though, you did see Kova did a 2 bank out of Kova. So not a red this time, but probably going for the block on Luke. 9
did not get it.
9 did a 4K. Had an analyzer to focus, and then did a boost with his regular action. A really superb boost to get all the way in there. I mean, that was close. Luke is taking a focus here. Jan dropped the bomb, did a 2 hard. Then Han's just doing the 1 straight, taking a focus. Resistance Han with Ray Gunner proving today to be very efficient.
I'm not foreseeing Luke surviving this one, unfortunately.
It is an obstructed range 2 shot. He's got a chance.
Got a hit crit.
You're gonna see the Ray
we got
focus.
2 hits and a crit.
Yep.
Ray being very powerful as she is in the films.
Ray is essentially advanced optics on poor Luke, on poor Han rather.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And Luke is spending his focus token.
Yep. Takes a crit.
To take a crit only.
She has a 14-point advanced optics, but she does have. Oh no, he's spending the force. Sure, I guess. Why not? You've got 2 force, may as well spend it. It is a direct. Oof, that's a bummer.
1 hole left on Luke, and Nien still has a shot. As I said, I do not see Luke surviving this one.
The good news is I believe Luke is within Jan's side arc, so she can take a stress. He can roll 5 dice against Kova, and she's only rolling 1 defense in this case.
Oh, that's a lucky Luke there.
Well, he's got to roll 2 paint. He did
Almost.
So I hope
we
that,
have a dead Luke.
Hope we see Jan's ability activate here. He does
try
get
to
to
take
shoot back.
Kova off the board at least.
Yeah, I think you can really broadside Kova here. Checking Jan first, maybe. Yeah, check that side arc. Go for it. Go for it, Caribor. Do it. I want to see the blood. Yeah, she takes the stress. Excellent. Taking a stress. Luke is basically advanced pro torping Kova right now. He's got a lock. He's got a focus. He's got possibly death. I mean, he's got death. We already know. So he'll see if he can nail Kova on the way out. I mean, you get 5 here. You've ensured a death. That's a good start. That's a really good start.
Yeah, it is. Spend that lock, because why not? You're already dead.
Yep.
That's the sideways spinning dice. I hate when that happens.
Ooh.
And she does get the evade, so she is taking a hit and 2 crits.
As I said, 2 crits might kill her. Let's see what she's got. 1
It's
hit.
going to be a feel bad if she survives. Damaged engine. It actually helps her.
Direct.
Then a direct. All right, there we go.
Damaged
Oh, no,
engine
it doesn't,
does
because
not.
it doesn't.
It's
yeah,
not revealed.
Yep.
Yep. Damaged engine is executed. It is not a revealed maneuver, and Kova's ability works on reveals. So Kova is a very weird ship sometimes where, sure, you've got, it's all Jan now. But she does have the Crow
she
title.
has any shots.
No. She's got the Crow title, though, so she's got that going for her. Oh, she's got on. All right.
Just barely.
Yeah, take those 2 crit dice. I get pretty lucky.
Okay, we got our pew pew here.
Don't spend it.
Oof.
Just keep the focus.
Yeah, just keep it for later.
You're the Hawk. You get to keep it. Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
You're not going to... I mean, a singular damage onto Han isn't going to do much right now. He's at... yeah, he's only 1 down. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Kiribor, I don't think he has a real shot here of coming back.
The good news for Caribor right now is 9 is almost at half. So Kova can easily do like a nice 1 bank, maybe even a 2 bank, and shoot him from range. You're not going to really see a pattern analyzer like shenanigans from 9 this turn.
Yep. Unfortunately for Jan, she cannot use her ability on herself, so that's her card is essentially blank now. She's just an I-5 Hawk.
Yep, which does have a pretty solid action bar. And now that she's free of that wanting to clear that stress, she can freely do that focus rotate or even target lock rotate.
Yep.
Which I think helps her in the long run. That's the key issue with Jan for me is Jan and Kyle I like a lot for their abilities, but both of them want to have time on. You want to have that arc on your allies. So you want to get the Crow title for that double, doubling your arc.
Give me a moment, Andrew.
Sure, absolutely. You want to have that thing for the doubling your arc, so you can have that wider range for your ability, but at the same time, it costs 18 points. So it's a bit of an investment on a 5 ship, but it's not the worst case in the world if you can make it work. In this case, unfortunately, it looks like he's not having that much luck. 9 is boosting into range, trying to get into range 1 of Jan. I think he's going to get it. The good thing for Caribor here is he is going to have Han probably not shooting at him. I don't think the boost helps you a whole lot here. If I'm Caribor, I think maybe you just focus. He's going to choose the boost. I think that may be a mistake. Because now I think 9 can do a 4K next turn and still clear that stress. Han, not really in a great position. He's going to rotate the arc, which is stressful on the scavenged YT. But he's got the force and he can change a blank. Whoops. Excuse me. He's got the obstructed 3 at Jan, so it's 3 on 4. Is going to get 1 with the force. Yeah, spends it. Using it on the blank. Very nice. Jan is more than fine. She is all paint all day long. 9 is going to get a chance to shoot now. He's going to have the range 2. Yeah, I really would have done a 1 bank, I think, were it me on the Hawk there. But at the same time, ooh, you've seen Heroic come to play. Gonna get 2. The Heroic pings. That's not the worst case right now. I think Jan can hopefully get 1 paint.
I am back.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello
didn't
there.
miss a whole lot. Han rotated his turret, took a pot shot, didn't get any hits. Jan was fine. Jan is now in a very particular situation where she is taking 1 or 2 shields, depending on whether she chooses violence. I think you choose safety here and take 1 shield.
I'm getting phone called again.
He's going to choose violence. Yeah, I think with a 2-die attack, I think I would have chosen the safe move there. But at the same time, that's not bad. We're about halfway through a game, so you can kind of tell this is... It's not quite... it's almost like a skirmish game in how the pace goes. But at the same time, it's not quite the same. I said same a lot in that sense. Jan rolling 2. Ooh, should have spent the focus. But that's okay, you get to keep it. Heroic again on 9. Heroics for 1. That'll get 9.5 though. So Caribor at the very least is going to be walking away with a 89-point game. Almost 100. Let's see if he can get... He's going to need 6 hits on Han to get half, I believe. Yeah, 6 hits. Or 5 more from where he's at. It's possible. It is unlikely. The big issue right now, if you are Caribor, is you are in a tricky spot with a Han Solo coming after you, and a 9-nub probably going to do his pattern analyzer shenanigans this round. I think your best bet is to do a 2 or 3 hard. Try to block Han Solo. Try to block Han there and hopefully be out of range from 9 if he does that 4K and gets the double mods. Also important to remember that at this time, it does not matter whether or not that you have. You're doing the 3 heart out of 9. Important to remember for Han right now is he can still sloop because he has the title. He can still sloop. He can still boost. He can still rotate. This seems like a good opportunity to boost, I feel. I don't know what else you would do here. This is pretty tricky. I'd like to see the boost, but we don't know. The real bummer right now is I love the Hawk's action bar. It's very solid. I only wish it had a boost focus action. But because it has that red boost, you gotta put engine upgrade on to even have a white one. This is a bit of a particular situation to be in. Let's see what he chooses here. Gonna go for the boost. I think he arc dodged 9 there. He is going to bump Han, but Han will clear stress. I don't know if we're gonna have any shots. Yeah, looks like no shots this round. They're going straight back to dials. Man, I tell you what, this is the one thing about, I think that second early proton bomb is a bit of a bummer right now, because man, if you had one right now, you are golden. Like, that is a really good position to be in if you have a proton bomb. You're hitting both of his ships. I expect to see another 3 bank 3 something out of 9, just trying to keep her in arc. Jan could do a 3 hard, I think, and clear. That's kind of tricky to say. She could just do like a 2 or 3 bank and then just focus rotate to the rear. There's a few places she could be in. She's not in the worst case for getting damage through on either of these targets. But at the same time, she's really got to put a hurting in order to make this worthwhile. We'll see how this goes. 3 hard out of 9. He's got a target lock. He's going to take a focus. He's double modded. He's feeling fine. Jan might be disappointed. Oh no, 4 straight. Okay. This feels like the focus rotate time for sure. He's going to elect the boost action. Maybe try to snag Han there. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to have any shots. I don't know if I would have done this. No shot Han. 9 is going to get that double modded range 3 shot. It's going to be 3 on 3. You've got the lock if you're 9. Pretty standard roll. Hit, crit, eye. Gets 2 eyes, spends the focus. Proving double mods are fantastic. Caribor is getting 1 evade. 2 evades, maybe? Can't quite see the other one. Looks like 2 evades, doesn't take any damage. Doesn't have a shot. Yeah, I think the focus rotate there may have been better. But the boost did put him out of range too, so we got that extra evade dice, which did help. This seems like a good time to try to do like a 2 hard around this debris. You've still got that turret rotated sideways, so you're feeling pretty good about that. I think 9 just goes forward. Remember, those hyperspace markers do not act as debris or obstacles. You can just zoom right over them. Who cares? They don't exist for the purposes of play.
I'm back.
Hey, how's it going? Han here, probably going to do a 2 bank. I believe those are blue on the Falcon. This is going to be an interesting round. Kierbor's really got to do some damage this next one, though.
I mean, to his credit, he survived.
He didn't take any damage. Yeah.
Wow. I was expecting when he was flying by with Han and Nien coming straight into him that he was done.
No, he did it 4 straight and then boosted to get to range 3. Wasn't too bad. It definitely was a safe option. But you've got to start getting some damage in here if you want to win. You're only down by a little less than 30 points. If you do finish off 9, you do gain the lead. I think. No, I'm sorry. A little more than 30. A little less than 40 points. I'm sorry, I can't do math. 9's going to like to close the S-foils. We're probably going to see a barrel roll into a focus here. Just so he's not having to go over that debris next turn.
Yep.
This would be an interesting one.
This is one of the biggest things I think Kivor should have accounted for is I think he dropped his bombs a little too early.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to keep one just as a deterrent, because like there's no way that Daniel would have done this move here if there was still a bomb ready.
Yeah, not that. I think that past round or the turn before that, there was a really good position for a bomb drop.
Yeah.
That would have hit both 9 and Han, and you would have gotten that crit through a 9. So
There's
I mean,
that boost to get out of Nien's or 9
I
arc
believe it
and
is.
be able to shoot him. Actually, I think he might just be in. It's pretty hard to tell. I think he got out, and I think he has a shot.
Oh,
back
the good
in
news is
Nien.
even if he is in, the foils are closed, so you're only taking 2 dice out of him this time instead of 3. Looks like it's range 3 out the front.
That didn't look like it was in.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
in.
It's not in out of the front. It's in out the side. So Jan will
Very
get a
good
shoot
job
back.
by Zachary.
I feel like this is you do that 2-on-2 to Han, but she's gonna like to go into 9. The obstructed 2. He's got
9. He could take a gun off the board.
Yeah, but he's got to focus it through debris. I think it was more.
Oof.
Yeah, I think it was worth it to try to get an extra damage into Han here. Start chipping away at him.
Does the Hawk have any turnarounds?
It does not.
Oof.
It does have a red stop, but I think the key thing here is it can link a focus into a rotate, and right now that front arc isn't doing you a whole lot of good. So that focus rotate sounds pretty solid right now.
I think at this point he needs to keep putting Jan through the rocks, make it as tricky as possible for Han to follow him, and maybe try to get him to string out 9 a little bit. He's got time. He's got 15 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Doing a 4K out of 9 here, I believe, is a weird call. He's not going to be able to... He can use Pattern Analyzer. He just can't use 9's ability, I don't think.
He gets the arc, but he doesn't.
So he's keeping that stress.
Yep, and he's out of position now.
Yep.
Definitely out of position.
Yeah, a hard turn out of Jan here looks real good. Ooh, going to 4 straight.
I think the chance that she takes to take a focus, honestly.
Yeah, this is a focus. If you don't need it, great, you get to keep it. You're the multi-pro. Yep.
It's a very safe choice. I don't think boosting is the right call.
I don't think it helps you a whole lot.
Already at a 9, obviously Han could respond to you. If Han does like a 2 hard here, you can boost or turret rotate. I don't think you're getting away. Target lock's pretty brash. I really think focus was the right choice here. He did a target lock into a turret rotate.
Yeah, I do think the focus, even a focus rotate there would have been better. Your focus is defensive. You've got 3 dice from Han coming in. The odds of it getting 3 hits are pretty dang high with Ray and a focus.
Yep.
Ray Gunner, I've been very impressed by Ray Gunner today. I haven't seen her used that often. Hit crit,
man,
though.
he's got to roll some good dice here if he doesn't want to be in serious pain.
He's taking a crit.
He got 1. He will survive. Let's see what it is. Damage sent. Right. You cannot perform any actions except focus. It's not the end of the world, but that's not a good one.
Maybe this gets him to finally start focusing. Looks like he's going into 9 at range.
Has that target lock available.
Doesn't need it.
That's
taking a crit.
That's a direct hit. 9 is now 1 away from dead.
Yeah, the big issue here, though, is even if you kill 9, you are well behind the 8 ball.
Yep.
I haven't even adjusted Jan's shields.
No, you haven't.
Yeah, so, I mean, he has got I mean, Dana right now has got 162. You've got to get. You basically have to kill Han Solo, which is going to be hard. With a 2-die turret attack and still 10 health on Han. So, but you might be able to get 9 off the board and walk away with a little more points than what you've got right now. Losing Wedge so fast was really what hurt him. I think he went too aggressive with Wedge too early. With a ship like that, again, Wedge melts so fast. You've got to know when to throw him into the fray and when to be like, yeah, this isn't the right move. He got a little too close to Kova in that first engagement and paid the price for it.
Yeah, I don't see any good moves for Zach. I think this is his last turn.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be pretty rough here.
I think if Han, like what Han should be doing here, probably a 2 forward followed by a boost or a focus if you don't actually need the boost.
You don't need the boost. You just focus and you've got almost guaranteed 3 hits as long as you roll an average roll. Yeah, this one's going to be tough. We're going to have to see how this goes.
Clearing the stress. I think Nan just stays there. Maybe barrel rolls? No, he's going to focus.
He could barrel and focus there if you
doing
wanted.
Both.
But
he has his wings closed.
Yep, he is doing both. Probably
Out
just
of range, but he will retain that stress.
I don't know if Zach has remembered the fact that that he has 9 on Jan this game. He's been doing a lot of straight maneuvers when he's had that stress.
Yeah, it's quite possible because you'll look at your suite of maneuvers and you'll forget.
Oh, just focus here. This just seems like a focus here for me. I don't think it's worth it to repair.
You gotta focus, dude. Just take the focus. There you go.
There it is. No reason to do anything else. Yep.
There can only be one. Hitting that debris cloud.
No actions on
We'll take a stress. He actually still can take actions.
No, he's getting stress.
Because of Ray's Millennium Falcon.
He could boost. Yep, I'm sorry. He can boost and rotate if he so chooses.
Boost for that range 1.
He is going for it.
Boosting for the range 1. That is a double stress. However, with only 2 hits left into Jan, I think this may be game here.
Mm-hmm.
Has that Ray Force available.
Oh,
won't need it. That's a dead Jan.
There you go.
Quick game.
9 versus
rough,
9.
Rough loss. Yep. Oh, and then he got the squiggles. Go figure.
Got the natties.
That feels bad when you're gonna die anyway, and then you roll the natural evades.
So one thing you can take away from this, obviously, other than the tutorial on how to set up these games, but one other thing you can take away from this is that you've got that they call it dice stats. Nope. You've got that idea now of how these games go, how fast you're getting in, how fast you're getting into actual engagement. You are in the fray immediately, so any kind of upgrade that gives you a chance to get out or basically instantly get some repositioning and some actions is pretty solid. I think ships like I believe Old Tarek in the Fang Fighter, where it's after you do the red maneuver, you can get 2 focus tokens, or Lieutenant Dormit's, for example, where it's immediately after you place, you get those green tokens. Anything like that's going to be really powerful in this format, so try to plan around that.
Yep. So that concludes our demo of the Spaceballs format. If you would like to join the tournament, it begins September 15th. Entry fee is $10. Got lots and lots of cool prizes. To join that, all you have to do is go to https:// tabletop.to/spaceballs-the-tournament. Feel free to join us and have a ludicrous time.
Absolutely. To play us out here, let's listen to the Spinners. Thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed this game. I've been Andrew.
And I have been Justin.
And take it easy, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.